Hello there, Bachelor of Secondary Education and Elementary Education graduates. This video is for you. As I have promised, I will be doing a lecture video to serve as a reviewer for all those who have just graduated from college and are planning to take the licensure examination for teachers this coming September, or this video will stay permanent in YouTube, so anyone can actually view these for their future use. Okay, so let's first have a quick discussion on the composition of the licensure examination for teachers. We divided first into two categories, let for the secondary education graduates and let for the elementary education graduates. Okay, so for the secondary education graduates, you will be taking the let for with its three parts. We have the general education, the professional education, and our majorship. And this is the same with the elementary education graduates, but we only take away the majorship since they don't have their majorship. Okay, so as for me, I am an English major, and so I will be sharing the review words that I have used during my time. I'll be sharing it with you through these videos that I am making. Okay, so based from experience and from the experiences of my fellow let takers during our batch, it said that the general education part of those elementary education graduates are a lot difficult in comparison to the gen ed part of the secondary education graduates. And we flip this over when it comes to the professional education. It's a lot easier for the elementary graduates and it's very difficult for the secondary education graduates. Okay, so anyway, for this video, what I am going to talk about, this could actually be both for English majors and for everyone, because we have an English as part of the general education subject. So we will be discussing structure of English, and the let competency for today's video is to demonstrate understanding of grammatical concepts by being able to describe and analyze meaning and use of various English language structures. So this is actually just the basic concepts in structure of English. Okay, so let's now start with our very first topic, basic sentence patterns. Okay, well, basic. But I know it may not be basic with a lot of you there watching and listening to me. That is why we are here to lend you a hand. Okay. So below are basic patterns around which most English sentences are built. Okay, so the following are arrangement of words through which a sentence can be formed. So first, among all, we have the noun, the be verb, and the adjective. So yun yung unang-unang arrangement natin or sentence pattern natin. Ito yung pinakasimple. It is composed with only 3 words, and these are the noun, the be verb, and the adjective. So, maaaring hindi lang 3 salita dahil merong determiner o article sa una, pero ang pinakapunto rito ay ang mga importanteng salita lamang ay itong 3 ito. Itong noun, itong be verb, at ang adjective. So, ano ba ang noun in Filipino? So, pangalan, we have be verb, and then adjective, pang-uri. So, let's read there kung ano ba itong unang-unang sentence pattern na ito. It is where the adjective is a subject complement, in particular a predicate adjective. So the adjective refers back to the subject. The copula verb be means may be described as. Kung nasa gitna na salita natin, itong be na ito, maaari mong i-replace yan para mas maintindihan mo ng phrase na may be described as. So, subukan natin sa example na andito. Roses are sweet. Ang roses dyan, ang salitang roses ay ang ating noun sa unang sentence pattern na ito, yung are ang ating be verb. Bakit are ang ginamit? Ito ay dahil ang salitang roses ay plural o maramihan. Kaya are ang ginamit instead of is. And then we have the last word sweet. Ito yung adjective doon sa unang pattern natin. Noun, be verb, and then adjective. Noun yung roses, be verb yung are, sweet yung adjective. So may sinabi doon sa definition kung saan yung adjective daw ay referring back to the subject. Ano ba ang tinutukoy na sweet? Hindi ba yung roses? So yung sweet ay pumapatungkol doon sa unang salita na noun natin na roses. Okay, so I hope na you are having your own examples in you there, so in your mind. So roses are sweet. Ano pa ba? Kagaya ng sinabi ko, hindi lang naman tatlong salita ang pwedeng bumuo sa noun, be verb, at adjective na sentence pattern. Pwede rin naman yung the pencils are sharp, or the crayons are bright. So, yung crayons, yun yung noun, yung are, yun yung be verb natin, and yung bright, yun yung adjective na referring back to the noun. Ano yung ibinigay ko pang example kanina? The pencils are sharp. So, pencils, plural, yun yung noun. Are ang ginamit ulit natin sa be verb kasi nga plural. At sharp, it is an adjective referring back to the noun. O, let's think of an example na singular naman. The ball is round. Iisa lang yung ball kasi hindi natin sinabing balls, walang S. Kaya yung verb na ginamit natin ay is, and then round, adjective siya na patungkol doon sa noun natin. Okay, so yan ang pinakasimpleng sentence pattern sa mga nagsisimula pa lamang dyan na magsulat in English or matuto ng English language. Pwede naman tayong magsimula sa basic sentence pattern number 1. You can write your sentences in this pattern. Noun, be verb, and then adjective. So you can just think of as many nouns as possible. Marami naman tayong nouns. We have table, we have ball, we have pen, we have pencils, crayons, ball pen, bag, bed. Okay. So, ang dami. Table, chairs, ayan, plates, house. Ayan, yun yung mga noun natin. At mag-isip ka lang ng be verb na kailangan na sumasakto din doon sa kung singular ba o plural yung noun mo. So, is o are lang yan. And then, the last word should be an adjective. Ano ba yung mga adjective natin? We have sharp, beautiful, sweet. You can also say ugly or hard. Ano pa? Round. Yan yung mga adjective natin na mga patungkol doon sa noun ninyo. Okay, so I hope that number 1 is very clear. Now we proceed to the second basic English pattern. We have the noun, the be verb again, and then the UW o yung tinatawag natin na uninflected word. Because, okay, so others who are not English majors here may not relate with this one, pero explain na lang din natin siya. Ang tinatawag natin na uninflected word ay wala kang maidudugtong sa salita na iyon para magkaroon siya ng panibagong form. So, example natin dito yung yesterday. Hindi mo yan pwedeng dagdagan ng ed para gawin siyang past tense na katulad sa ginagawa natin sa verb. So, hindi mo yan pwedeng gawing yesterday'd. So, ang uninflected word ay hindi dinadagdagan ng salita sa dulo or sa unahan o sa gitna. Yan yung mga tinatawag natin na prefixes, suffixes, and yung mga affixes natin. Hindi mo yan pwedeng gawin sa uninflected word. Kaya nga siya uninflected word. Hindi siya nasisingitan, hindi siya ini-inflekan ng kahit na ano para magbago yung kanyang anyo o yung kanyang forma. So, yun yung pangalawang basic sentence pattern natin. Now, let's read what is in here. Noun, be verb, UW, or uninflected word, where the uninflected word is an adverbial such as here, there, up, down, in, out, inside, upstairs, Downstairs, on, off, now, then, yesterday, and tomorrow. Be has the meaning of be located or occur. So, kung sa unang basic sentence pattern natin na noun, be, verb, and adjective, kung yung be verb natin dyan, pwede mo siyang pakahulugan na may be described as. Dito naman sa pangalawa, para mas matandaan ninyo, yung be verb natin dito, ang ibig niyang sabihin ay be located or occur. Okay, let's examine the example. The meeting was yesterday. So, kung papalitan natin yung be verb natin dito na was, na ang ibig sabihin ay be located or occur, maaari nating sabihin na the meeting occurred yesterday. Occurred kasi was, so in past tense, so yung occur natin, dinagdagan din ng ed para maging past tense din. So, the meeting occurred yesterday. The meeting was yesterday. Ibig sabihin, naganap yung meeting kahapon. Again, ang noun dito ay yung meeting. So, ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na hindi lang naman tatlong salita ang pwedeng bumuo sa ganitong sentence pattern kasi karaniwan may tinatawag tayong determiner, yung mga articles natin na the, an. So, sa example na ito, so number 2, ang ginamit ay the. So, instead na meeting was yesterday, dinagdagan ng the sa unahan. So, the meeting was yesterday. Ang noun natin dito ay meeting, be verb natin ay was, at ang uninflected word natin ay yesterday. Ito ay adverbial. Hindi lang naman adverbs ang uninflected word natin, class. Sorry. Class tuloy. Okay. So, sa mga susunod na topics natin, i-discuss natin kung ano yung mga uninflected words. I'm sure the English majors out there can relate. You can also comment down below para malaman ng iba kung ano yung mga ibang uninflected words natin bukod sa mga adverbs. Again, ang uninflected word ay hindi maaring kabitan o lagyan ng ed sa dulo, ng s o ng kahit na anong affixes dahil ito ay tumatayo ng siya lamang. So, hindi siya nagka-transform into another form para magkaroon ng ibang meaning o gamit. Okay, so that is for our second English basic sentence pattern. Okay, konti lang ito. Bear with me. I hope na you are learning something. Okay, so for number 3, we have ayan, meron na tayong parang math na, no? Anong tawag dyan? Exponent. N raised to, ano yan? N1, and then be verb, and then we have another noun, N1, where the superscript means that the two nouns have the same referent. The second noun following the be verb is also a subject complement, in particular, a predicate noun or predicate nominative. Kasi, okay, para mas maintindihan ninyo ito, balikan natin yung sa kanina sa una. Kung noun, be verb, at adjective yung unang English sentence pattern natin, dito sa pangatlo, noun, be verb, and another noun. Okay, so the last noun in this sentence pattern is also referring back to the first noun mentioned or yung subject natin, kaso hindi na siya adjective, kundi noun siya ulit. Okay, let's take the example here. Her neighbor is my cousin. So, subject complement is equal to predicate nominative. So, yung neighbor dito, yun yung first noun. Yung is natin, yung ating be verb. And then, another noun referring back to the first noun ay yung cousin. So, instead of thinking of an adjective, kasi yun yung sa una, think of a noun na magpapatungkol doon sa naunang noun sa sentence pattern na ito. Okay, so instead of saying her neighbor is beautiful, magfo-fall under first basic sentence pattern yon dahil noun, be verb, and adjective. Dito sa number 3, noun, be verb, and another noun. Okay. Again, hindi lang tatlong words ang mga nandito dahil may mga determiner tayo. So, we have her and my. Yung mga possessive pronouns natin. Okay. Ano pa yung pwede nating maibigay na example dito? Balik na rin natin. But my husband is her brother. Ayun, pwede yun, diba? So, yung husband noun yun, yung be verb natin is, kasi ang husband ay singular, tapos instead of adjective na mag-fall under category 1 o basic sentence pattern 1, dito sa basic sentence pattern 3, another noun yung magre-refer back doon sa first noun. So, yung another noun doon sa binigay kong example, brother. Brother is a noun referring back to husband na naunang noun sa sentence pattern na ito. Okay, number 4, noun and then intransitive verb. Okay, where the intransitive verb does not require an object, the verb being self-sufficient can stand alone with its subject. Okay. I was living a lie all my life, charot. All I know na naituro ba or stock knowledge lang na akala ko dati middle voice ito kasi 'di ba we have active and passive voice. Dito sa pang-apat, hindi ito active, hindi rin siya passive voice, hindi rin siya middle voice. Kalimutan ko kung ano yung tawag doon, pero I will research about it and will surely comment para malaman ninyo. Ilalagay ko sa comment section natin kung ano ang tawag sa ganitong voice. Kasi hindi siya active voice, hindi siya passive voice, hindi rin siya middle voice. Okay. Glasses break. Ano pa? Paper tears. Ano pa? You think of a noun and their property para makagawa ka ng isang sentence na ang composition niya lang ay noun tapos intransitive verb. Intransitive verb kasi wala namang sasalo ng action. Kasi ang doer of the action dito ay yung glasses. At hindi rin naman siya yung nagre-receive ng action niya kasi sa ano yun sa middle voice yun yung nagre-receive ng the receiver of the action is also the doer of the action. Pero in here, glasses break, paper tears, ibig sabihin napupunit yung papel. Ano pa yung mga pwede nating gawing example para dito sa noun and transitive verb na basic sentence pattern natin, wherein the verb is self-sufficient and it can stand alone with the subject. The bell rings. Ayun. The bell rings. So, yung glasses break dito, glasses ay plural, kaya break lang yan at hindi breaks. Kasi kapag singular, meron tayong inflection S or ES. Okay. So, doon sa example na binigay ko, the bell rings, ang bell ay singular, and then and singular din dapat yung verb niya. Singular in form, kaya rings. Okay. So, the bell rings, wala tayong object, kaya intransitive verb yung rings. The doer of the action, yung bell, tapos walang receiver of the action. Okay. So, sana nakapagbigay kayo ng mga sarili ninyong examples dyan while listening to me. Okay, for number 5, we have noun and then transitive verb. This is the opposite of the fourth basic sentence pattern kanina. Dahil intransitive verb yon, ibig sabihin walang object. So, kung dito sa transitive verb where the second noun does not have the same referent as the first noun, and to is called the direct object. Dahil meron tayong transitive verb, syempre meron na tayong direct object dito. Meron ng sasalo ng action. Okay, so meron tayong doer of the action, meron na ding receiver of the action. Okay, so noun 1 is the doer of the action, and then we have transitive verb, and then noun 2 is the receiver of the action. At ang receiver of the action ay tinatawag natin na direct object. Okay, let's take a look at the following example. The girl buys yellow roses. Yung girl natin dito, yan yung noun 1. Again, singular yan, kaya singular in form yung transitive verb natin, which is buys. And then, yellow is a modifier of the second noun, roses. So, ano ang binili? Roses. Take note that the direct object answers the question what. So, what did the girl buy? You answer roses. Okay. And then the subject of the sentence or the doer of the action answers the question who. Who bought the yellow roses? The girl. Okay. So, I hope that's clear. Ano pa? Elijah washes the plates or the dishes. Oh, ayun. So, yung dishes, siya yung receiver of the action. Kasi siya yung hinugasan. Tapos, sino yung naghugas? Si Elijah. Ano pa? Aside from buys, aside from washes. Okay. Manny Pacquiao punches the punching bag. And for his training. So, Manny Pacquiao is the noun. And then we have transitive verb punches. Ano yung pinapunch ni Manny Pacquiao? Yung punching bag niya. Okay, so that is for our fifth basic essay. Ayan, we are down to the sixth English basic sentence pattern. So this is second to the last basic sentence patterns that we will be discussing in today's video. Medyo haggard na rin tayo, so bear with me kasi patulog na. Ayan, so number 6, we have noun 1, transitive verb, noun 2, and noun 3, where the superscripts 1, 2, and 3 indicate that each noun has a different referent. Okay, example, mother gave a gift to the orphan. Usually reads as mother gave the orphan a gift. So, kung mas familiar kayo, ito yung tinatawag natin na STVIODO or subject, transitive verb, indirect object, and direct object. So, sa number 5, na-introduce ko na sa inyo kung ano ang direct object. Ito yung sumasalo ng course of action or ng action doon sa sentence. So, dito, ang direct object natin ay gift kasi siya yung binibigay, siya yung ibinigay. Mother gave a gift to the orphan. Again, the direct object answers the question what, and the subject answers the question who. Ano naman ang indirect object? It answers the question to whom. Ayun. So, kanino ibinigay yung regalo? To the orphan. Okay. So, ang noun 1 natin ay mother. Ang transitive verb natin ay gave. We only have one verb in this sentence, and it's the word gave, and it's a transitive verb because again, because of the presence of the direct object in the sentence. It is what makes the verb transitive if there is the presence of a direct object, yung sasalo noong action doon sa sentence. Noun 2 natin dito, yung gift o yung direct object natin, and then noun 3 natin, yung indirect object, yung sumasagot naman ng katanungang to whom. At ang salitang ito ay yung orphan. So, dito sa naka-close and open parentheses, maaring isipin ninyo na ang noun 2 dito ay yung orphan, pero hindi. Laging ang noun 2 ay yung direct object natin. So, nagbago lang dahil doon sa omission ng preposition to natin. So, meron tayong explanation dito. Two noun objects occur after the verb still. N2 is the direct object and N3 is the indirect object. If we omit the last noun, the pattern is identical to that in item 5. So, para lang siyang STVDO kapag inalis mo yung huling noun kasi yun yung IO. Note that the indirect object is preceded by the preposition to, sometimes for or of. If the two objects are inverted, the preposition disappears. So, balikan natin yung example para ipaliwanag sa inyo yung last sentence dito. If the two objects are inverted, the preposition disappears. So, sa example na ito, ang preposition natin ay yung salitang to. Kapag ka-invert natin yung positions ng direct object at indirect object, mawawala yung preposition na yan. Dito nga sa naka-close and open parentheses, sabi niya, mother gave the orphan a gift. So, nawala yung to, nauna yung indirect object na orphan kaysa yung direct object. Okay. So, more examples. He made a toy house for her. He is the subject or yung first noun natin. Transitive verb yung made. Direct object natin yung toy at indirect object natin yung her. Ang clue nyo din para malaman kung alin sa mga nouns na nouns or pronouns or subjects na present sa isang sentence ay indirect object ay kapag preceded siya by a preposition. Ibig sabihin may naunang salitang preposition kaysa sa kanya. So dito sa example, mayroon tayong preposition for. Kapag tatanggalin natin yung preposition for, i-invert lang natin yung positions ng direct object at indirect object. So he made her a toy. We have subject, he, transitive verb made, indirect object, her, and then direct object, toy house. Again, direct object receives the action, subject does the action, and then indirect object, it is to whom or for whom or of whom the action is made. Okay, the last example here, the teacher asked a question of her. The teacher asked her a question. The teacher, subject, transitive verb ask, direct object, question, indirect object, her. Okay, again, preceded by a preposition of. Invert na naman natin siya, kaya nawala yung of. Okay, so I hope that basic sentence pattern number 6 is very clear to you at sana nagpo-provide kayo ng mga sarili ninyong examples dahil dyan kayo matututo kung paano mag-construct ng sentences using all these patterns. So, hindi lang tayo dapat nagsisettle doon sa mga unang basic sentence patterns natin. Yung first 3, very basic yun, 3, 4, or 5 words. Dapat marunong din tayo na gumamit ng mga ganitong patterns para mas na-express natin ng mas maayos yung gusto nating sabihin, especially in written outputs or documents. Okay, so for the last English basic sentence pattern natin, ayan, nakakalula, bakit may ganyan na? Okay, don't worry kasi last naman na. I know that it's very complicated, pero sa example mamaya, sana ma-realize nyo how simple it is lang naman. Okay, so sa tingin ko, dapat mag-direct na tayo doon sa example. There are choices of different forms in sentence final position. These are illustrated as follows. Object complement, yung underline dito, use as object complement siya. So, the class voted Henry secretary. Yung class dyan, yun yung noun 1. Voted, yun yung verb natin. Henry yung ating direct object, and secretary natin yung OC or tinatawag natin na object complement. Ibig sabihin, kung doon sa number 1, yung adjective doon ay referring back to the subject or to the noun, etong dulong salita ay referring back to the object, hindi referring back to the subject. So, sana nakita nyo yung difference ng unang example ng basic sentence pattern at itong huli. So, yung secretary dito, patungkol siya kay Henry na direct object natin at hindi siya patungkol sa class na subject. So, ang secretary ay si Henry at hindi yung class. Okay, so for the second example, the principal found the gardener efficient. So, ito naman ay, again, adjective siya, pero hindi yung principal. Hindi siya referring back to the subject na principal, pero ang tinutukoy niya dito ay si gardener. Okay, kapag ka-pronoun naman, we consider the writer you. Sino yung you? Sino yung writer? You. Sino yung you? Writer. Okay, pag adverb of place, the teacher directed them outside. So, sino yung lalabas? Sino yung pinapatungkulan sa salitang outside? Yung them na, at hindi yung teacher. Okay, she saw them praying. Again, sino yung pinapatungkulan ng salitang praying? Yung them at hindi yung she. Okay, and last one, for the past participle, I imagine my father overworked. Sino yung overworked? Yung father at hindi yung I. Okay, so the most common illustration of this sentence pattern is one with the occurrence of a final N2. Ibig sabihin, ayan, final N2, yung first N, yun yung sa subject, and then, sa sentence pattern na ito, meron tayong N2 sa dulo. Kasi yung Henry, yung writer, yung them, at yung father, direct object ang mga iyan. So, ibig sabihin, transitive verb, yung mga ginamit na verbs dito sa last basic sentence patterns natin. Okay, so, yan na yung pinakadulo sa ating basic sentence patterns. For the next video lecture, we will be talking about nouns. So, alam ko na maaaring basic yan sa iba, pero ang dami pang patungkol sa nouns na dapat isa-isahin natin, especially those English majors na maaaring lumabas sa licensure examination for teachers. So, when it comes to English majors, dalawa lang yan. It's either language or literature. At nung batch ko, mas marami ang language kaysa sa literature. Halos below 20 items or 10 items lang ata ang literature. So, lahat ay puro tungkol sa language na. Okay? So, next video na yan, I promise na I will think of a name to call you para hindi ko kayo natatawag na class. So, dapat may tawag ako sa mga YouTube subscribers and followers and viewers natin. Okay, so that is it for tonight. I hope na you have learned a thing or two. Sana may mga realizations or discoveries tayo dyan. Katulad ng adjective lang pala yung complement na tinatawag doon sa SLVC or subject linking verb and then complement. O di sana matagal ko nang alam or nagagamit ko na kung nalaman ko na adjective lang pala. Yung mga ganung realization. So comment down below kung ano man yung mga gusto nyo pa na i-discuss natin or yung mga reflection ninyo sa video na ito, mga natutunan ninyo, and kung may anything na pwede kong sabihin, correction, we are open to that. Okay, so that is it for tonight. Have a very, very good night. Sweet dreams, everyone. I will really think of a name to call you. Goodbye.